So the topic of our discussion, mm, uh, today's discussion is time complexity and big O notation. Okay. These two terms are very closely correlated with each other, because the first and the foremost thing that we have to understand is that to solve a problem, there can be more than one possible solutions. Okay. Like if I give you an example, you can perform 2 plus 2 plus 2 equal to 6. You can also perform 4 plus 2 equal to 6. Again, you can also perform 3 into 2 is equal to 6. Okay. So out of this three possible solution, we have to find out that which particular solution is much more effective to give us the output. Okay. So two things we have to keep in mind. Number one, we have to reduce the complexity of the program. The complexity depends upon two factors. Number one is the user ends, so that user find it very easy to operate. And secondly is the compilation end, so that the Java compiler does not take too much of time to compile the program. Okay, so as you can see, all the ends you have to keep in mind to develop a proper algorithm. Okay, so let's see what do we have in this topic. Okay, complexity analysis. I hope you can see this PPT out here. Complexity analysis. Okay, the first and the foremost part that everyone has to keep in mind is that every object oriented programming or any programming program has to go through a data structure. Okay, and in the data structure, the first part that is the matter of the discussion is that the complexity analysis, that how much complex is the program, or whether the code or the algorithm that you have created covers up all the aspects so that the complexity reduces and the proper output is obtained. Okay, but you have to understand there is a difference. What is this difference? One is the complexity and one is the computational time. What do you mean by computational time? The time required to compute an instruction, to process it and to obtain an output. This is what you call the computational part. Okay, but this doesn't mean that just to have a shortcut process of computation you will develop a complex code. That also doesn't make any sense. So that is what is the difference which is discussed here. The computation time, the interval of solving a problem based on the embedded system architecture, which means the amount of the time which is required to solve the problem inside the architecture, that is in the computer system. Basically, this is what you define by the computation time or computational time. But with relative to this, you have another term which is called complexity. What is complexity? The art of handling a problem based on the algorithm designed to solve a case. In this part, we will not say a case, we will say a task or a program. Okay, as just now I have given you an example, that is, if you add up 2 3 times, then also you will get a 6, but if you multiply 3 into 2, then also you get a 6. So the question comes, which of this is effective? Okay, which of this is more effective? Okay, now if you see 3 into 2 can have can require less amount of time, because with the help of the multiplication operator, you are simply multiplying the value and getting the result. But if you are performing an addition operator, you have to keep on adding one value after the other, and then the result will be carry forward to perform another set of addition. So multiple times addition has been performed. Though it is sound same, but for compilation process, if you see, 2 times addition, 2 plus 2 you get 4, again plus 2 you get 6. So 2 times addition is being performed in the first case, and in the second case you have only one set of calculation, that is 3 into 2 equal to 6. Okay, so in both of these cases you see that the total number of calculation actually varies. So when total number of calculation varies, two things possibility. Okay, there will be firstly the difference in the computation time, that is in both the cases you are getting an output, but to obtain the output there has to be a time difference, because in the first case you are performing 2 times addition, and in the second case you are performing 1 time addition. Okay, so this computation time brings that. Now what happened in terms of the complexity, you must have faced this in your junior classes when you were in class 1 or 2. Okay, if you are asked to do addition, you see that you can draw the line, or you can like murmur your addition process lot more easier than remembering the multiplication table. So if you see, the memorizing of the multiplication is comparatively okay. So the process of uh, your this part, that is what happened, Rishu? What is that necessity that you are controlling my screen?
By mistakes,
Okay, even by mistake also I have done it. Wait. Fine. So as I was discussing, okay, so here comes the thing that remembering the multiplication table is comparatively a lot more difficult than performing the multiple addition. So if you see, the multiplication is a complex algorithm as compared to performing the multiple addition. So that is what is the difference. So we have to keep both these factors into the mind while we are performing a algorithm, so that the complexity also should be kept in mind, that it should not be too much complex algorithm so that it's hard to understand. Okay, but also we have to keep in mind that the time required to perform that algorithm also reduces, so that you can obtain the result easily. You have this couple of examples out here in the screen. As you can see, on the left hand side, 2 plus 3x for x is equal to 5, and in the right hand side you have 1 plus x square by 2 plus x cube by 3 dot dot dot, x is real number. Okay, now if you actually see out here, you have a constant value, you multiply, you add up, and you get the result fx. Okay, but in the right hand side, if you see the case, what happened here is the multiple addition, as well as you have the square value. So right from the outlook of this expression only, it is understood that this particular, on the right hand side, the expression which is created required more time as compared to the expression which is on the left hand side. But again, there is an issue, that is for the right hand side. If you actually see, for this power function, okay, you automatically have predefined method in the Java compiler. So it is not necessary that you have to write x into x or x into x into x all the time. Okay, so the complexity reduces here. How? By using or implementing the Java methods in the program. Okay, so thus reduces your entire complexity. So if you see here, the complex here, you don't have you cannot involve any predefined method. There is no product function. So thus you have to manually perform the entire division. So if you see the complexity on the left hand side, the complexity on the left hand side is more as compared to the complexity of the right hand side. But whether on the other hand, if you see, the time required for the right hand expression is comparatively more than the computational time required on the left hand side. Okay, now if I take you to the next part of the example, 2 plus 2 plus 2, 2 into 3. Here you are performing 2 times addition, so time required out here is more. In the first part, the time required is less. Here the time required is more, but out here the time complexity is comparatively very less, because you are performing just one operation. Out here you are performing multiple operation. So that is what you have to keep in mind, that every individual problem can have a multiple solution. Okay, but not necessary that all the solutions will be applicable for every problem. Okay, it is utmost necessity to find out the most effective solution. In the same case, if you see, if you have this 2 into 2 into 2, which is equal to 8, okay, multiple multiplication you are performing. Okay, the complexity is less. Okay, the complexity is less. Why complexity is less in this part? Because once you know the multiplication, you can perform any number of multiplication multiple times. Okay, but what happened in your childhood day, you might misread this particular expression, that is 2 to the power 3, because many children you have seen, because you have seen that many children, what they do, 2 to the power 3, they read it as 2 into 3. So they misunderstand this expression. So designing of this algorithm is comparatively difficult. Okay, but here again the time required is more, here time required is less. So these all factors, these are certain examples where in some cases you will see the time complexity is effective, computational time is effective, but the algorithm is complex. In some cases you will see that the algorithm is effective, but the time complexity is less, but the time complexity is more. So keeping all these factors in mind, that is how the complexity factors is always kept in mind while designing the algorithm. Okay, next comes the topic big O notation. How do we do it? Okay, the big O notation with the capital letter O. Okay, it is not a zero, please mind you, this is particular O. Okay, also called the Landau symbols. The person who has actually discovered this theory of calculating the complexity of an algorithm was Stevens Landau, with a symbol called O. Okay, so Landau symbol is a symbolism used in the complexity theory, computer science and the mathematics to describe the asymptotic behaviors of the functions. Basically it tells you how fast the function grows or declines. Okay, every result has to go through certain procedure, certain modules or certain functions. Okay, just like addition is a function, multiplication is a function. So every output is obtained from the process, and every process goes through a function. Okay, its behavior. Okay, so now how your process are increasing and how your process are decreasing, that entirely depends upon the property of how the function is actually behaving to obtain the output. If your function proceeds or increases rapidly, then you will see that the time complexity comparatively in comparison to the others is actually less. But if your function takes lot of time in processing and obtaining the output, then you will see then the complexity maybe is in the algorithm is slow or easy, but the time complexity increases. Okay, so this is what your big O notation is all about. What is the purpose of the big O notation? It actually tests, or it actually describes the behavior of the function. Okay, how the function is processing. Yes.
So what is asymptotic, this word?
Asymptotic behavior of the function means the progression or the degradation of the function, whether the function is proceeding one process after the other, or the function is hanging around consuming the time in that particular process, keep on processing one after the other, then moving towards the next. If you remember the recursive function, if you remember the recursion technique which was taught in class 11, okay, in the recursion function, what happened, let me just show this. In the recursive function, what happens, okay, you have, suppose x is that process, okay, passing the value 1, then again x is the process passing the value 2, x is the process passing the value 3. So what happened, if you see, once this process is performed, then it reflects back on the value 2, and then it reflects back on the value 1. So as you can see, there is a progression of the method. Okay, now it entirely depends upon whether the method x, which is a recursive method, is taking much of time while calculating the value 3, or it is taking less time. Okay, that depends upon the algorithm. I'm just showing you the method part. As you can see, there is a progression, or maybe also you can say this is the degradation. Why? Because first the value 3 has been considered, which was entered at the last, but this is processed first, and then it is moving towards the value 2, and then it is proceeding towards the value 1. So there is a flow of control of the multiple procedure or the functions. This is what you call the asymptotic behavior of a function or a method. Clear? Okay, so where I was, okay, so this is what you call the big O notation. Okay, now you have to see the various representation. This particular section you have to learn. Okay, if the function defined in the big O notation, that is when you design a program, okay, there are certain scales. Okay, just like we have a centimeter scale, meter scale to measure various types of the object, to measure the algorithms and its complexity, you have several measurement. What are these measurement? Okay, notation of 1, we read it in this fashion: notation of 1, notation of log n, notation of log n to the power c, notation of n, notation of n square, notation of n to the power c, notation of c to the power n. Okay, and they have their corresponding name. The functionality comes in the next part, that how these notations are actually used to measurement the complexity of the algorithm. Okay, notation of 1 is constant, which means slowest. This is considered to be the slowest algorithm measurement scale, that is 0 to the power 1. It is something which you call, just now I showed you the example 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 multiple addition. So those kind of algorithm is or notation of 1. That means there is a one operation, but the operation is keep on going after the other, one after the other, and it is taking lot of time to obtain the result. So that is why it is O to the notation of 1 is considered to be the constant slowest. Okay, since you have done logarithm, so O of log n is the next phase. Okay, this is the second scale of measuring the algorithm. All these things are part of your syllabus. Okay, then O log of n to the power c. Okay, this is known as polylogarithmic, same as O log of n. Okay, that is both are same. Polylogarithmic and logarithmic both are used for same kind of program or code. How? We'll see that in the next page. O to the O of n, that is notation of n, is linear. This is linear actually. Linear means you have just constant flow of the data. It is just progressing. There is no stoppage or no hanging around in particular function or a process. It just keep on increasing. O n square, this is known as quadratic. Why quadratic? If you remember the quadratic equation, the highest exponential value have the square. So exponent value of 2, if you remember the formula, ax square plus bx plus c, where c is a constant value. Okay, bx is an exponential value and ax is of the square of the exponential value. Okay, O of n to the power c is a polynomial and O of c to the power 1 is an exponential. This last one is considered to be the fastest and the most effective algorithm. Okay, now the question comes that how do we do it? While designing the algorithm, it is certainly not possible for us to understand that we have designed the algorithm as per this particular phase. You cannot do that, obviously. But yes, once you design the algorithm, you can measure it with the help of certain all these set of the scale. If your algorithm comes under that particular phase, then it is considered to be that your algorithm is actually going through that particular notation. It comes under that particular notation. Okay, understanding big notation. Now what are the factors that keeps in mind? Efficiency covers lot of resources. First of all, the first factor is CPU time usage. Okay, if your CPU is using lot of time to process one particular work, that algorithm cannot be effective. Okay, so we have to see that the CPU uses less amount of time so that your algorithm works faster, because CPU is the ultimate product which keep the track of time for a particular algorithm. Then you have the memory uses. Obviously, you develop such an algorithm, it may runs very fast, but it is using so much of memory space that you get hardly any you can hardly any insert any values into the code to test out whether your algorithm is flexible for the multiple values or not. Okay, so memory uses is also a concern. Disk uses. Why? Because once you design the algorithm, you need to save it. If you don't save it, then there is no point in creating an algorithm, because a soft document, every software need to be saved in certain disk, whether it's a internal disk, whether it's an internal disk, every hardware runs through the code. So the purpose of the disk usage is also come into play. Network uses. So if you are designing any algorithm, for the network purpose, like if you are designing any Java applet applications, then obviously you need an internet. So we have to see that the internet usage should be effective enough. It should not be like that lot of amount of the internet has been used. In spite of that, your algorithm is still hanging around in one particular position. The algorithm is not processing further. The algorithm is taking too much of time. Okay, so these are the 4 factors that you have to keep in mind while designing the algorithm. Okay, performance versus complexity. The next term, what is performance? How much time memory or the disk is actually used when the program is running. Okay, this depend on the machine, compiler, etc., as well as the code. Okay, when you talk about the code, then the first thing comes is that before designing the code, you should be smart enough to design that particular algorithm so that your code implementation with the help of the machine and the compiler is much more effective. Because if your algorithm is very, very critical, then the ultimate product of the program which you are writing on a source editor window, you will see that your coding is also becoming much, much more complex. Now, if your code also becomes complex, then the end product has to be the complex of all the sources, all the resources. So that time you can see that your time effectiveness is very, very less, your memory effectiveness is very, very less, your disk management in the computer is also very, very less. So this is what the factor that also keep in mind while designing that is the performance. So you can only consider your algorithm to be appropriate algorithm provided the time management, memory management, and disk management, everything is kept in the mind inside the computer while the program is actually running. And obviously here comes the actual time, our actual factor, that is the dry run technique. Every algorithm has to go through a dry run every time, okay, because dry run is the only effective medium to analyze that how complex is your algorithm and whether it is taking too much of time to be processed. Because if your algorithm is not up to the mark, the end product, which is the program, is also will be inappropriate. Okay, next is the complexity. How do the resource requirement of the program or the algorithmic scale, that is what happen as the size of the problem being solved, get larger? You are trying to solve a problem, but your algorithm demands is that your process is getting larger and larger and larger. If you see just now while I was discussing about the recursive function, you start from the end limit and you come backwards, so your process is getting lesser, lesser and lesser. So you can see that in certain programs where you're applying the recursive technique becomes much more effective program, because your program is running in the reverse order and your problems or your functionality of the code is becoming smaller. Okay, it's not getting larger. Okay, to certain extent the largeness of the problem getting solved can be accepted, but if it exceed, then we consider that the complexity of the program is very, very poor. Okay, the complexity of the program is very, very poor because it is acquiring again it will indirectly affect to this performance, that is time management, memory management and disk management cannot be maintained properly, thus it is a very poor complex program. Okay, poor complex means your algorithm is becoming larger, it is becoming time consuming, and you ended up getting a solution consuming lot of time. Okay, we'll meet in the next link to continue with this complexity part.